Being a border town and lying in this region of the world, Livingstone also has its fair share of worrying statistics.
According to a recent case study done by Clinton Health, Sub-Saharan Africa has one of the highest burdens of adolescent pregnancies in the world, with the rate twice the global average at 98 births per 1,000 girls. So nearly 30% of Zambian adolescent girls get pregnant by the age of 18, with the eastern and southern provinces leading in this. Added to this, the findings of the 2022 MedRAP availability, affordability and stockout study on ASRHR commodities in Zambia shows that there is a very low availability of ASRHR commodities, which is only at 36.4%, and this is in public, private and mission health facilities.
Limited access to family planning and information services supported by social, cultural, and structural drivers are key drivers to the scourge of adolescent pregnancies. Even though there are family planning options available, most adolescents are unaware of these services.
So you find in the facility there's a low uptake of these commodities.
In an effort to change this worrying narrative, an EU-funded program running in 6 African countries called Solutions for Supporting Healthy Adolescents and Rights Protection, SHAP, has trained civil society organizations, media, faith actors, youth and women-led organizations in policy advocacy and awareness raising amongst community members in a bid to increase demand and supply of sexual and reproductive health commodities and services for adolescents.
The SHAP project is a program that is designed to improve the health of our adolescents in the sub-region, looking at sexual and reproductive health rights. The design of the program in terms of its objectives is to look at increasing both the supply side, of commodities, looking at availability, accessibility and affordability of sexual and reproductive health, commodities for our adolescents, and of course the provision of the care, as well as the demand side, which is looking at, how these commodities are being, utilized by, our population, especially adolescents in the facilities.
Maintaining good sexual and reproductive health means people need access to accurate information and to safe, effective, affordable, and acceptable contraception methods. They must be informed and empowered to protect themselves from sexually transmitted infections and, when necessary, receive timely and affordable treatment. And when they decide to have children, women must have access to services that ensure they have a fit pregnancy, safe delivery, and healthy baby. Livingstone opinion leaders, made up of faith actors, media actors, and youth actors, came up with an integrated action plan that aims to provide reliable information about adolescent sexual and reproductive health and rights so as to counter stereotypes and fake news. They held a community dialogue at the Church of God on the 22nd of February 2024, where invited members of the public engaged in a frank, no-holds-barred discussion on sexual and reproductive health. The dialogue got underway by having a biblical background to sexual and reproductive health and why the church should be part of this dialogue.
But God, when He created man, part of man is sexuality. So in short, we are saying, many of us as churches, we don't emphasize. We all emphasize spiritual part, we don't emphasize the physical part.
A young man who listened intently was quick to pose the burning question. For a very long time, abstinence has been the sole message that has been preached in churches, homes, and society. But the reality is, this has largely been ignored.
But if you are found on the other side and you really can't control yourself, protect yourself.
Whereas the adolescents in the gathering felt that parents do not offer enough of a listening ear to their needs, the parents countered by stating that it seemed that children preferred to listen more to their peers than they did to their parents. The adolescents responded to this by stating that the issue was that 90% of the time, the nearest form of communication they had with parents was in the form of a monologue, with parents giving commands and instructions. They stated that parents never took time to listen to their children and see things from their point of view, whereas peers gave that listening ear and attention. They went on to pose a few questions that left some parents in the audience scratching their heads.
My fathers and mothers, how I, as a girl, cannot be pregnant at a tender age. What information do you have for me? What encouragement can take me to another level?
You keep yourself busy and then choose what type of friends you have. If you have peer pressure, it means it will drive you to have sex at the early stage.
But if it's forcing me, I really want to taste, I want to then I know that condomizing we are men, but it will provide me cervical cancer. What do I do now? Because abstinence is very cancer. Condomizing now, you need a therapy to my problems. What do I do? You need a therapy to disease. What's the next step forward?
And the things that you see, avoid them. Most especially the phones, as my fellow parents have mentioned. Use it accordingly, don't misuse it, otherwise it will mislead you.
However, Sheikh Yakub Banda went on to put more blame on parents for some of the breakdown in information sharing and best practices for bringing up children.
It is not always that it's wazimuna stima wapunzisa abantu. But sometimes it's my pesa challenge kuli mwe wazimai. Ine pamene nipunzisa mwana wakazi wanga wazaona munga ni very hard kwa mwana. Maona, wazaona ati ni very hard. Chakuti ine nikachokako wazasala wamuza wakati wako swali. Mwana pamene muzamuza kusaiti imwe vazimai ndiye pamene azambera. So it's very important that no one say that ndaona tu mwana ana problem. Change bilizani. Whether ine nikakala naye neka. Pamene muzamuza hivi, bamai wake na wewe wafika kumuza sema. Paja mwana azaona kutana kasi ni roho.
It is important that as parents and society, we play a more engaged role in providing our children with the right information as regards sexuality. Left to the world, we risk them being misinformed or even disinformed, thereby resulting in a number of negative effects such as early pregnancies, increased maternal mortality, increased STI infections, and a high school dropout rate. A passionate plea was made by Sepiso for parents to give them the listening ear, as there is so much that they want to share with them and learn from them.
We want you to be open. We have a lot of things to talk about. We have a lot of things that we want to learn. But if we find you parents, you're always bad after bad you are going to sleep. How can we talk to you? We want you to find time for us. If you've been preparing for we don't have your encouragement. Depends on my encouragement in the way like that. Depends on my encouragement in the way like that. Because in when I say that shape a child, after my day, I was said that I was dancing around to see. So we need your love. We We need your care. We need your time. I have a lot of thousands of questions to ask. I need you to be open. So my fellow parents now, my parents, as you are going home here, I want you to go and practice. Mukafika fundi. How time? You are just pumping knowledge. You are just pumping knowledge. Stop and listen. They have to know what they have to say as well, right? Okay. So that's all I have to say for today.
As girls and boys struggle to disentangle truth from fiction, fact from propaganda, their trust in all sources of information, from government, academics, journalists, and community leaders, is undermined. We all need to be aware of this to understand the specific adolescent needs and effects of misinformation and disinformation on the younger generation, so we can tailor solutions to meet their needs. The SHARP project, just as its name states, is here to help in finding lasting solutions that will lead to a rise in awareness on SRH issues and implementation of the right policies, ultimately resulting in a higher percentage of adolescents accessing affordable and readily available sexual and reproductive health commodities and services in our country, thereby ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for our adolescents and for all.